All right, hello everybody. KVUE Chief Meteorologist Hunter Williams here with an update on our Central Texas forecast. We've got two main things that we're watching. First and foremost, fire danger is returning to our forecast. This will start on Wednesday. Already red flag warning is in effect. We've got a breezy Pacific cold front coming in. Maybe a little bit of a break on Thursday, and then another breezy front comes in for Friday into Saturday. That will ramp up the fire danger again. So kind of several days we'll need to be on guard. Then outside of the fire threat, also our warmest weather so far of 2025 will be in the upper 80s Wednesday, and I have widespread 90s in the forecast as we go into Thursday. So with that, let's dive into things. We'll start with our red flag warning, which is in effect for areas along and west of I-35 on Wednesday. Now, there's a few little timing differences here. So in the Austin Metro and the I-35 corridor, the fire threat actually develops later in the day. So it will start at 4 p.m. and go through 9 p.m. It will take a while for that breezy front to make it in. However, for the hill country, it starts earlier. Your red flag warning starts at noon and also continues through 9 p.m. As I mentioned, outside of the fire threat, I also want to give you a heads up. It's about to get even warmer. We were in the low 80s today, upper 80s Wednesday. Thursday, 93 in the forecast would be a daily record in Austin. And then here comes that second breezy cold front on Friday. We're in the 80s as that kind of moves through. And then this one actually does have a little bit of cool air behind it, so that will drop us back down to the 70s Saturday into Sunday. But Friday and Saturday are still likely to have fire weather concerns. Here's the forecast for Wednesday area-wide, and you can see kind of the imprint of the wind as we go to the afternoon. This west wind across the hill country, that is going to be behind this Pacific cold front, so it's breezy weather and low humidity. And I know this is a little bit confusing when we talk about a Pacific cold front. What we mean is there is no Arctic cold air behind it. More so than a temperature drop, it's actually a humidity drop behind the cold front, and dry air actually heats up more easily than moist air does. So we actually get warmer with the dry, breezy air behind the front. Mid-upper 80s along and east of I-35, upper 80s, low 90s for areas in the hill country behind the front. So let's go through the wind timeline. Here is 8 a.m. Wednesday morning. We go into the early afternoon, and first things will ramp up across the hill country. This is not going to be the same type of wind like what we had back last Tuesday, where we had 50 to 60. But I do think we'll have some 35 to 45, maybe up to 50 miles an hour for parts of the hill country. And then as we keep going into the later afternoon, early evening, that dry line, Pacific cold front, that boundary, it works right into the Austin Metro and I-35 corridor. But still, I think the core of the strong winds will stay west into the hill country. But still some 25 to 35 mile an hour wind gusts in the metro. In town will be possible, maybe some gusts up to about 40 miles per hour. But again, it's that wind, low humidity, drought, dry weather, warm weather, that whole formula that combines to give us the fire risk. As this boundary comes in, there's also a very low chance for storms. Low clouds in the morning on Wednesday, though we clear to that sunny, warm, breezy afternoon. Here comes the front, though, right at about 6 o'clock. So again, you can see the wind shift. This is where the front's going to be at. With the models mainly are showing some clouds bubbling up. We're going to have a cap in place, which I think is really going to prevent storms from forming. But watch right here, Lee into Milam County. We'll see if a little complex of storms can develop. If that were to happen, I think that mainly would be like entirely east and northeast of our KVUE area. The vast majority of us won't see any rain at all, much less severe weather. But I still want you to have kind of just be on guard. Over parts of Lee County and Milam County, the Storm Prediction Center actually does clip these areas in a level 1 low-end marginal risk for severe weather. If something were able to get going, not a guarantee, but if hail and strong winds would be the main two things to watch out for. Then we go to Thursday. Again, this is going to be the warmest day of the week. Look at these numbers. Low to mid 90s are widespread. This is like 20 degrees above average for this time of the year. 93 in Austin would be a daily record high temperature. Then we go to Friday, and guess what? Another breezy, mainly dry cold front is coming in, and this one is attached to a pretty powerful system. So look at these winds across our state just ripping over most of Texas. 4 p.m. on Friday, 40 to 50 in Dallas, 50 to 60, San Angelo to Lubbock up towards Amarillo. And for us, I think, easily some 35 to 50 mile an hour wind gust will be a possibility. So it's early. Stuff could change. We always have to wait and see how all these ingredients come together. But as of now, Friday actually looks like it is the biggest fire risk of this week. You can see the early Friday outlook has, this is high in the beige from LaGrange to Giddings. Then in the peach, very high fire danger into Bastrop, into Caldwell County and parts of the metro. Then in this Red, that is extreme. So that is the top of the scale. So Friday, very likely to have additional red flag warnings and very likely to be another weather impact alert day from us here at KVUE. But in the meantime, we'll take this one day at a time. We're mainly focused on Wednesday. Weather impact alert, not because of storms, but because of the fire threat, especially along and west of I-35. We'll hit a high of 89. Then on Thursday, 93. It will be less breezy. The fire threat's going to be elevated, but it should tick down a little bit for Thursday. Then it ramps up again Friday into Saturday as the wind picks up as that second cold front comes in. 88 on Friday. There is actually a little bit of cool air behind the second system, so we'll be in the 70s, it looks like, for Saturday into Sunday, before temperatures kind of rebound into the low to mid 80s Monday and Tuesday of next week. So that is an update. We'll keep the updates coming here at KVUE. Y'all stay safe. Again, make sure you are just paying attention to things. Have a way to get your alerts in case there's any, fire warnings or anything like that that are issued. And stay tuned with us here at KVUE. We'll have more updates over the next couple of days.